Hello everybody, Chris Campbell here, Handy Clock Shop this evening. Up on the bench we have an alarm mechanism for a kitchen clock. The kitchen clock we're currently working on, we just got through doing a complete movement overhaul, bushings, polishing the pivots, doing some repairs. And now we're working on the alarm. This clock dates back to 1899. And this is a very simple movement here. What we have is the great wheel, which is the winding wheel that also holds the main spring. And then we have an escapement wheel and a verge. And attached to the verge is the hook mechanism that hooks to the main movement so you can set the alarm. And of course the hammer. But right now it's not working, it's gummed up, stuck, and by the looks of it, the main spring is very dirty. So we're going to make this safe using a zip tie. And we're going to take it apart and do a complete service overhaul on it, as well as cleaning and making sure that this will last the customer many more years. All right, and now what I'm going to do is just trim the excess off. Well, there we go. Okay. All right, so first things first, we're going to go ahead and let down the power. And sometimes this can be easier said than done, because sometimes you about need two hands to accomplish, there we go, this task. All right. Alright, so it's let down. Now we need to take it apart. And back then they used these old S-type hooks, and I do not like those. I'm going to actually replace these with tapered pins. So this can be the next challenge, is trying to, there we go, well, that went one. We just sent that one fine. Okay. Yeah, I do not like these particular type pins, because they can actually be kind of dangerous over time. And you can tell just how old this thing is. The wear alone. Alright, that one came out. But this one doesn't want to seem to come loose. Come on. Almost there. Yeah, we're definitely going to replace these with tapered pins, because this can become a very serious situation down the road and can lead to more problems with the movement than what you really need. And there we go. Okay. So what we're going to attempt to do, there we go, and we're going to remove, well, they got the same thing hung into that one as well. Okay, this is the main spring, And the great wheel also has an S pin. We're going to remove that. Here's the verge, the bottom plate, and of course the escapement wheel. And we're definitely going to need some polishing and cleaning on that. Alright, so we're going to put those in our tray. Now we're going to work on getting this off of, and what did I do with the screwdriver? Yep. There's one piece. And there we go. Now we should be able to get this one free. And it looks like it's warped. I'm not quite sure, but just eyeballing it, it appears to be warped. If so, I'll have to put that into my lathe and straighten it. These are just friction fitted, and sometimes you have to coerce it a little to, there we go. So there's the star, and now for the front plate. And let's see, yeah, it is a little warped. That's why it was so hard. Okay. And that is the main spring held in place with our safety zip tie. And we're going to go ahead and remove that. And we're going to put this in our parts washer, give it a good cleaning thoroughly, and then open it up and oil it. And then clean the great wheel. And check it over, make sure all the teeth are nice and sharp, polished and clean. Now this piece here is riveted to the main plate, so we're not going to remove it. It's meant to be permanently attached. But everything else looks to be in good order. So we're going to go ahead and put that in our tray. Alright, and on the next go around, we will put it in our parts washer and bring it out, show you how it works. Stay tuned for Campbell's Antique Clock and Watch Repair. Alrighty, so now we're back with our movement from the ultrasonic cleaner. The customer does not want a slick or a glossy polish and finish. He wants it to be dull so that it keeps a majority of the patina for the years. Basically, all we did was remove the old grit, dirt, grime, oil, and checked all the teeth for wear. We polished the pivots and checked all the teeth on the escapement, polished the pivots, checked the lanyard pinions, pivots. And this one was the most dirtiest. This was eat up with rust and corrosion. We ended up putting this through the ultrasonic 8 times before it got clean. And then we polished the pivots. And we also cleaned the main spring, the front, or excuse me, the back and front plate of the movement, and the star wheel. But yeah, now it's ready for assembly and testing. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and install our mainspring onto the great wheel. And there we go, it locks in place. And now we'll bring it down onto the movement. Yeah, I've got to get right there, perfect, okay. Now for the star wheel. and the pivot. Now what I'm going to do is, when I'm hand fitting this, is I'm going to use toothpicks for the tapered pins just for right now, while I test it. Then I'm going to put actual tapered pins in when I go to finally mounting it into the clock. Okay, that's one pip in. That's that one. Oh, almost had it. These can be kind of tricky, especially getting everything to line up just the way it should be. There we go. Now I'm going to put a toothpick in here and one here. And one here. Whoop. We'll get this locked in place. There we go. Just until we get it to test fit. And now for the star wheel, which will go on like so. And it too has a place for the toothpick. Oh. Yeah, we don't want it to back out on us. There we go. Okay. Perfect. Now it is working. And that's the alarm for our gingerbread kitchen clock. Okay. Let's go ahead and wind it up. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. All right. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and oil. And then I will do the permanent installations here in just a little bit. Put some oil in the mainspring. Come around. Alrighty. And that is how you repair a Victorian or old antique alarm feature for a mantel clock. Alright, so now we're going to test it into the movement to make sure that the bell works and the warning lever here works. And then I'm going to replace the toothpicks and replace them with the actual metal tapered pins for the permanent installation. And this will be good to go for another 100 years. So if you need any antique clock or watch repair, come see us at Campbell's Antique Clock and Watch Repair. And we will get your clock or watch back in time in no time. Until next time, have a wonderful evening.